what it means to have pure and positive thoughts for others. In Hindi it is called being a Shubh Chintak, being a well-wisher for others. Now you see, in the whole day, whatever we do, we always say, I did it with good intention. Yes. And we always say that my intention is pure and positive for the other. But in that saying, what we do is the opposite of pure intention. We criticize, we judge, we blame, we do all of these things. And then we say that I'm thinking good about you. And this is why I'm pointing out your faults, or I'm criticizing you, or I'm demeaning you. Yes, sometimes we use very derogatory language also. But then we will say that, no, I'm your well-wisher, so I'm saying like this. And I remember there was this one mother, and she used to literally beat her son properly, and that son is now, I think, 16 or 17 years of age. And that son has acute anxiety issues. And then once I was interacting with the son, and then I could realize that, he is going through a lot. And then when I talked to the mother said that I always wished well for him, and I didn't know any other way to correct him, because he wouldn't study and he wouldn't participate in activities, and he used to always be very lazy and not try to, buck up and do things. So I started beating him, scolding him, and then it became a habit. And then, now he is good for nothing. Now he has, I also feel that he needs help and he's not doing well. And the mother also started crying. So the thing is, in Kali Yuga, when we have Kali Yugi sanskars, then with those Kali Yugi sanskars, we do all these things, shout, scream, blame, accuse, find faults, demean, judge. All of these things we do. And then we say that my intention is pure and positive. So Baba says, no. To transform excuses into solutions is to have pure and positive thoughts for others. So Baba says, don't give. So whenever you are giving excuses that it is because this person is like this, so I am behaving like this, that is not pure thought. So only when you are working towards the solution. So if somebody is not studying, will they start studying if you shout and scream at them? No, that is not the solution. So you have to discern what is it that they are facing in their study and solve it. So Baba says this, to move from the problem to the solution, that is having positive and pure thoughts. And even in your personal journey, you see that we are always giving excuses about why we cannot follow Srimad, why this can't happen, why that can't happen, why the Srimad of Seva cannot be followed, why the Srimad of Yoga cannot be followed. But Baba says, even to have pure and positive thoughts for yourself means you move from excuses to solutions. So if you are your own well-wisher, also you have to move from excuses to solutions. And if you are wishing well for somebody else also, then you have to move from excuses to solutions. So don't just find excuses for bad behavior, but move to solutions. So this is something that Baba says. And then in the blessing today, Baba is talking about having a big heart. And Baba says, so first Baba talks about the benefits of a big heart in seva. Now, how many of you think that, I am a sevadhari and my life is seva? So you see that a Brahman Jivan is about seva. The life of a Brahmin is the life of a sevadhari. Because you see that there are three meanings of the word Shiva, and Shiv Baba means a dot, a seed, and a benefactor, Kalyankari. So my Baba is known as Kalyankari. He is defined as Kalyankari. He is defined as somebody who serves, who brings benefit. And I am his child. So my life is that of a sevadhari. My life is that of somebody who is serving all the time. Maybe, you're just sitting in your room, there is nobody around, but still the thoughts you create are creating the world. So this is one swaman every Brahmin should have, that I am a world sevadhari, always, 24 hours. And do you know that dadis have this swaman so profoundly, like seeded in them, that Janki Dadi used to even serve in her dreams. So, and obviously whatever you do all day, you will do it in your dreams also. So, when Dadi used to be woken up from her, sleep, in the middle of the sleep, if somebody woke her up, then she would say, why did you stop me? I was giving toli. So, so Dadi always had this swaman that I am a Vishwa Sevadhari, and in that swaman, even while sleeping, she would be serving. So Baba says, one thing I have to understand is I am always a sevadhari. I am not a sevadhari for 1 hour, 2 hour, no. I am always a sevadhari. My being, my thinking, my vibration, my drishti, my words, my actions, everything has to be knowledgeful, powerful and loveful all the time. Because the world is either benefiting or losing because of your being and your state all the time. So now Baba says, we are those children who have been given the directions to serve always. But Baba says, if we serve with a big heart. Now today Baba says, someone who does service with a big heart also reaps the instant fruit of service in a big way. So, what is service with a big heart? And second thing, what is the instant fruit of service? So, the instant fruit of service is happiness and power. So, Baba says, those who serve on Srimad receive happiness and power by leaps and bounds in every second of service. But this applies to those who serve with a big heart. And what is a big heart? So Baba defines this: when you surrender I, yes, this consciousness of I am, I, yes, then you will serve with a big heart. And I was just reflecting on this point today, and you see this I and mine are such big clouds that shroud the intellect in such a manner that you can't even see properly. So, this I and mine is like a veil. It's like a parda, veil, which just covers your intellect. And you can't see even what is required, or you can't see the other person at all. Have you seen that even in Lokik families, you see this phenomena that some people just can't see beyond themselves. So, it's always my likes, my preference, my dislikes, my opinion, what do I want, what is right according to me. It is always about them. And what is this consciousness? This is this consciousness of I. I am important, I matter, my opinion matters, my need matters, my preference matters. And to some extent, every soul has this sanskar. Yes, and we can't see beyond ourselves. We can't just look beyond ourselves if our intellect is shrouded with this I. And what is service? Service is giving what others need, not what they want. Okay? Giving what others need, whether it is souls, whether it is nature, giving what they need is seva. And who tells you what they need? Baba tells you what they need. Yes, because souls even don't know what they need. They only know what they want. Yes, or in fact, I will tell you another thing, that they don't even know what they want. They only know what they don't want. So souls are trapped in such a big confusion that they only have a long list of I don't want this and I don't want that. They don't even know what they want. And beyond that, there is what they need. And Baba says, in order to be able to see what everyone needs, you have to see through their I don't want, I want, and be able to appreciate what they truly need. And for that, you have to be free from your own consciousness of I. Because when you are shrouded, when your intellect is shrouded with this I, you cannot see beyond yourself. And Baba says, only when you overcome this, you surrender this I, you get over this consciousness of I, you only see I am a soul and Baba's Srimat is everything. So my likes, my opinion, my preference, no. Baba's Srimat. When you go by that, then you will be able to see what the other person or the the atmosphere around you actually needs. And then you will be able to serve. And when you do that kind of seva, this seva with a big heart, then the instant fruit of happiness and power will come to you. And in order to surrender this I, it's not a one-day thing. It's a process, it's an effort. And Baba says, if you really want to be a world server, then you have to surrender this I. Yes. So, do you talk about the point of Gyan that you want to talk about, or you talk about the point of Gyan that they need? Yes, that's something very important, because you see, you have to be able to see their heart and see their need in order to arrive at the right point. But if you're so consumed by what you want to talk about, then how will you know what they want to hear? So this is also very important. And only when you are able to serve with a big heart and give every soul what they need, they will give you blessings, and those blessings will bring happiness and power to you. And this is about the souls you serve, but there are others you serve with. So there are fellow servers also. And when you are serving in a family, in a Brahmin family also, you need to see that you are not consumed by I. Because if you are the senior one in the group, then there is a greater chance that you will because you will have the opportunity to be consumed by I, because the others will not point that out to you. But it is very important that you also look at you look beyond yourself, and beyond you are able to appreciate the qualities and what the other souls are bringing with themselves. Because sometimes yesterday there was a conversation, and in that conversation there was one person who was saying that, you see, if my child can't do one thing properly, maybe because he doesn't know how to do that one thing right now, because he has not done it. So if he practices, he will do it. But then I said, even if he never gets to do that one thing properly, it's okay. Why don't you look at what he can do? So sometimes it's with people we live, whether it is the center or at home, and we have to work in a group. And in that group, what happens is, I think and I think that the definition of compassion is that I give you time and help to do it. But maybe that's not your specialty. That's not your capacity. It's just my idea that this should be done. And maybe you have another capacity, another specialty, which I could use. But I am so consumed by my idea and my idea of what is good and what is required, that I'm not able to see that drama and Baba has put you there because you can bring that other thing into this seva, which is so valuable and which I am not able to appreciate. So Baba says these things are very important, looking beyond yourself. And Baba says today that someone who does service with a big heart also reaps the instant fruit of service in a big way. Whenever you carry out a big task, do it with a big heart, and also have a big heart in enabling others to become cooperative. Do not have a shrunken heart, either for yourself or for cooperative souls. Yes? And then what does it mean when Baba says, don't have a shrunken heart for yourself? So, don't allow yourself to be limited by how you think of yourself. Think about yourself as Baba thinks about you. Yes, so that's having a big heart for yourself also. Because I'm so limited by my sense of who I am that I'm not able to see who I really am. Do you understand this? So you have a certain sense of, who you are, what your capacity is, what you can do, what you can't do. And what Baba is saying is a complete version of you, which is very different from your limited version of yourself. So don't be limited by your limited version of yourself. Look at yourself as Baba looks at you. And Baba says that do not have a shrunken heart either for yourself or for cooperative souls. By your having a big heart, dust will turn to gold and weak companions will become strong. Success that seemed possible becomes possible. All of this magic will happen, but only you have to let go of your I. For this, surrender I, and you will become a world server who has a big heart. Okay? So, but when you're limited by yourself, then looking beyond yourself is an act of surrender. So you cannot, in the consciousness of I, you cannot go beyond I. But when you surrender, then Baba will take away your I and give you an unlimited vision of yourself and that drishti, which can see the unlimited in others also. So this is something that Baba says in the blessing. And in today's Murli, Baba is talking about, so I think that when I read the Murli, I had this sense that, in the Gita it is written that when God comes, then it is the time that He finishes all religions and takes us back to one religion, yes, one deity religion. So now that we know that Baba has come, do we also know that it is time to go? Yes, so Baba's coming and the time of transformation happens simultaneously. And Baba is called, the Mahakal. And when the Mahakal has arrived, then it is time for us to leave our bodies and go back home. And Baba is known as the creator of Satyug, creator of the deity religion. So when Baba has come, it is time for us to leave our devilish traits also. So Baba says that when I have come and you have understood that Baba has come after 5,000 years, do you also understand that it is time for the souls to go back home? And it is time for the shift, the big shift, where you have to change from ordinary to a deity. And Baba says that, and Baba has told us that we are an actor. So every soul is an actor. And I was just thinking about this word actor, and it's so important, so interesting that an actor, when he performs a role, he's completely involved in it. He performs the role, he surrenders to his part absolutely. Yes, when if somebody is playing a violent person also, he will play a violent person with full conviction. Because if he doesn't play it with full conviction, then other people will not get scared by his part. So Baba says an actor is a very good example of being completely attached and completely detached at the same time. So, completely involved and completely detached at the same time. That's an actor. Because an actor knows that I have to play this role very well, and he also knows that once this drama is over, I have to go back, and I'm not this. So Baba says that you have been listening, and it is not only when Baba comes But earlier also, like Shakespeare said, that this is a stage and we are actors. So we have been hearing this, that we are actors, but nobody started behaving like an actor. Yes, so we heard that the world is a stage and we are all actors, but nobody really started functioning like an actor. But now Baba says, you are an actor, this is the truth, and it is time that you start functioning like an actor. So, when you are in the act, do it properly. Yes, don't do it half-heartedly. Do it with your full heart. So when you have to play the role of a mother, do it with full conviction. But then you know that it is a role. And as soon as the role is over, detach and come back to the awareness of who you really are. And where do you have to really go back? And Baba says that now you know you are an actor, you know where you have to go back, you also know your next movie. Yes, you know that you have to come back and play your Satyugi role. So while playing your part, you be fully involved. But as soon as that part is over, you detach and then you prepare yourself for going back home and playing your deity role, which is your next role in the drama. So Baba says this is how you have to operate. And it is the dignity of the actor that he plays his part well. And since we are actors, and Baba, and do you know what Baba calls us? Hero actors. So we Brahmins are hero actors, and we are the actors who know the whole script. We are closest to the director. So in this state that we are, being a hero actor, being so close and so closely guided by the director, whenever we play a role, it has to be the best. And then there has to be complete detachment also, because now we know that we have to go back home. So I always think about it like, the stage and the green room. So have you seen that when an actor is on stage, he is in full character. But then as soon as he goes off stage, goes to the green room, he is himself. So Baba says, the green room is the soul world, where you are yourself, without a body, without the role. You're just with your sweet Baba. And Baba says, when you are on the stage, when you're performing a role, think you're on the stage, give your best performance, and then go back to the green room. Go back to being yourself, bodiless, thoughtless, in your pure and loveful state with Baba. And Baba says, if you just did this much, this is Man Mana Bhav Madhyaji Bhav. Man Mana Bhav Madhyaji Bhav means this is equal to remembering Baba and claiming your inheritance. This one thing if you do, if you just are fully involved when you are in the act, and whenever you detach, you go to the soul world and you are in your bodiless state, then this one thing if you keep in your awareness, then it is equal to remembering Baba and becoming eligible for Satyug. So this is what Baba is saying. And then Baba today says that we do not dislike the family path. So do you know that I think that there are many people who say that if you go to the BKs, then you will leave the family. Yes, but it's not that BKs leave the family. majority BKs have never left the family. They've always stayed in the family and created a happy family rather. But the problem is that people generalize and they think that this is also a path of renunciation like sannyas. So, let's understand this, that traditionally only sannyasis meditated. So, meditation was always associated with Hatha Yoga, with those who leave the families, go to the jungle and sit in meditation. So, meditation and renunciation of family life were connected earlier. But Baba says, I come and teach you Raj Yoga. And Raj Yoga is something that we learn for the first time. So never in the history of any religion, any culture, any country has there been Raj Yoga, because Raj Yoga is taught by God and God comes only in the end, in Sangam Yuga. So when Baba comes and teaches Raj Yoga, then people confuse it with Hatha Yoga and the practices of Hatha Yoga. And people think that anybody who meditates has to leave the family, because that is what sannyasis did. But Baba says, no, in this path, you don't have to leave the family, because Baba says that when sannyasis leave the family and take sannyas, they do it birth after birth. So, a sannyasi is not a sannyasi for one birth. For several births, they become sannyasis. Why? Because they have, so you see that when you have a family, what is that family actually? That's a karmic settlement. Yes, that's a karmic settlement. And if you run away from your karmic settlement, will it finish? No. When you run away from your karmic settlement, the karmic settlement runs after you. That's the law, okay? So what happens is, when a sannyasi renounces the family, he goes to the jungle, creates a sanskar of, tapasya and an austere life and all of that he does. But then his karmic settlement is not settled. And second thing is, they take alms and donations from, those vicious grihasthis who engage in vices. So again, the new karmic account also that they are creating is with those who are going into vices. So now, A, their karmic settlement is not over, so they have to come back. And B, where will they come back? In vicious families. They cannot come into pure families because their karmic settlement they created is with vicious families. So again they are born into, normal households where the birth is through impure methods. And then again, because they have the sanskar of sannyas, they again go into sannyas. And then this cycle continues. And do you know that in the sannyas dharam, there is this interesting phenomena that sometimes some sannyasis who are very good with what they do, when a new disciple comes, they are also able to figure out that this is that same soul who was in this toli some years ago. And then he died and now he has come back. So this is because sannyas doesn't happen for one birth. It happens birth after birth because of this reason that Baba explains. But Baba says that here you don't have to do this birth after birth. This is the only birth where you have to do whatever you have to do, and then when you come back in Satyug, there will be no karmic settlements pending for you. Your birth will not be through impure methods. So you will go to a world where there is purity, there is no pending karmic accounts. And for that, what you have to do is, you have to live in the family, but live according to Srimat. Live with purity. Because whenever there is no purity, where there are vices, then instead of settling the karmic accounts, you will create more of them. Okay, so Baba says, how do you do this thing that you once and for all settle everything and go back to a world where there are no pending karmic settlements? You don't leave your karmic settlements, you don't run away from them, but you actually settle them. And how do you settle karmic accounts? You settle karmic accounts when you use Srimat, you use the power of virtues, you use the power of knowledge. And when you live in a household and use the vices, then instead of settling the karmic accounts, you aggravate it. So if there is a karmic account, you will feel attached to somebody, and if you continue to build that attachment, then it will only give sorrow. But when you feel attached to somebody and you make the effort to be detached and loving and take care, fulfill responsibility, and in the same time create greater detachment day by day, then you will settle the karmic account. But the first thing is purity, because where there is no purity, there is no celibacy, no pure food, then all of it is just philosophy. You will not have the power to do anything. So Baba says, this is why we don't dislike household, because we have to again come in a household. We have to come in Satyug in a household. We will be in a family, but in a pure family. So this is why we are not sannyasis. We don't run away from the household. We stay there, fulfill our responsibilities, but we take care to stay pure. Because only where there is purity, there is settlement. Where there is impurity, there is only addition of karmic account. So this is also the distinction and the clarity that Baba gives us between a Hatha Yogi and a Raj Yogi. And Baba says these are two different practices. You are a Raj Yogi and I am the only one who teaches Raj Yoga. Okay, Om Shanti.